They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Greetings and hello there, everyone. It is I, your Lord of the Rings dad. Make sure to do the liking and subscribing and make this a better community today with your own subscription and video likes. So, Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth, what's going on with the game? The updates are kind of few and far between, and yeah, so there was a big update here a couple days ago from the developers in the Discord. And what I will do is I'm going to post the Discord link in the description of this video. By the way, we're running some gameplay here for everybody to see. And I'm also going to post a link to a video from the developers, Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth Developer Diary, Characters Building Strategy. So the developers are actually talking about the game in their own YouTube video, and I will post a link to that as well if you want to take a look at that. But hey, a big update, a big, like, 25 paragraph update from the developers on Discord a couple of days ago. And what they were talking about was some of the recent improvements they've made. They've changed around the farming. It was something I really noticed recently for myself a lot, was that a lot of the character locations changed, which kind of changes up how you think about the meta and how you farm the game, which we'll explore more when the game comes out. I'm not gonna, I'm not going in depth into a game. I've learned my lesson on this. I got really deep into a game before during the beta. Then the game didn't do very well, and boom, I had to rebuild the channel. Anyway, so I'm not going to get into this game until it actually launches. I have played it, and I've given you guys some sneak peeks, and here's a sneak peek in front of you right now. Here's some of the combat mechanics. Now, one thing that a lot of people have been concerned about is the graphics in the game. And if you're like me, I think a lot of us, went into the game thinking we were going to see, caricatures of Ian McKellen, Elijah Wood, Viggo Mortensen, everybody else. We're going to see Sean Bean, right? We really thought we were going to see these characters, and instead, what the result was is that they designed the game after, more of a cartoony style. Now, it's a pretty detailed card. If you look at this and compare it to, for me, I compare it to Galaxy Heroes, right? And there is a lot more detail in these cartoons than there was in Galaxy Heroes when it first came out. Of course, that was 7 years ago. But there's even more detail than they have in some of the characters right now in the game with some of the animations. And if you look at the character, if you look at the character, where are we going to go here? I'm just going to go to my collection. There are definite graphic upgrades in this game that aren't in a game like Galaxy Heroes when you look at the characters in their screens. However, it still doesn't seem to be really, super up to date for a game in 2023. It seems like the graphics are a little bit behind, and there's been a concern for a lot of people as they look at this game and look for a game to play. Like, people can accept the cartoony nature of the characters, but I think that people want to see a more of a graphics heavy or more intense graphics in the game to really show what these characters are all about. And we get a little zoom in on Frodo there as we click on level up. So one thing they talked about here, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this verbatim. Let's see here. Where is it? We're currently amid preparations for another update that will target some of the issues outlined above. While we work away with gusto, I'll give you a small taste of what players can expect. There will be updates to a large portion of the art assets in the game. For example, characters, visual effects, animations, environments, etc., with more to come later. Additional changes to character metas, even more updates to some core systems in the game, etc. For me, that's the big news. There will be updates to a large portion. I'm going to bring this over right now. We're going to zoom right in on that part of the conversation if we can. I can't zoom in. This is as far as I can go on Discord, so I'm going to take it off. It's too small. It's too small for your eyes. So they're talking about big upgrades to the graphics portion, the art assets in the game, characters, visual effects, animations, environments, etc. I think this was a gigantic piece of feedback that they heard not only from the community, like the beta community, but people that just jumped in and watched videos were like, hey, hang on a second. I know that, is this Merry or Pippin? I think this is Merry, because Pippin looks like Owen Wilson. Am I right? No, this is Pippin. So he looks like Owen Wilson. If you look at his card, anyway. So it sounds like they're working on some serious and significant graphics and art updates for the game. Now, what are those going to be? How are those going to look? I'm not really sure. Generally, myself speaking, as a guy playing games, the graphics are... I do want to see good graphics in the game, but it's kind of secondary for me. Part of that's probably the fact that I was raised playing Mario Brothers and Pac-Man, and, you know, I grew up on Contra, you know, games like that, Tecmo Bowl football. Those are games I grew up playing. So the graphics here, you know, are light years ahead of that. So when I get graphics in a game, it's modern graphics to me. I don't really talk about it a lot just because younger people get annoyed with you know, your dad's opinion about graphics. But basically it looks like they're looking to make big improvements to the graphics, working on make the gameplay smoother, and they're working on it. Now, the real question that comes down to then, because this game was announced, I'm gonna just go back to the top of this sheet here. I feel like it was announced as a beta back like last September. This opened up in July 2022, so we are now in March. That is, what's 12 months? It's 8 months in, and they're talking about big graphics updates. This is kind of a thing here lately, is these betas that go on forever, and they use the community as a tester. And I'm not sure how this model is going to work out. I guess this is the first game I really think has a big chance. I have a couple of, like, Lego Star Wars battles I played, and that I never thought that. After a while, I was like, this doesn't have a chance. And then Hunters is a game that's being actively developed. Star Wars Hunters. I don't think that game's got a chance in at all of succeeding. I think that game's going to launch, do moderately well for a couple years. They'll update a little bit, and it'll probably... Anyway, so this game, though, actively being developed. They're working on the graphics. They're working on everything on it. It's a new community with Lord of the Rings, and there has not been this kind of gacha game for Lord of the Rings yet. This kind of Marvel Strike Force, Raid, Galaxy of Heroes type of game for Lord of the Rings. So I think there's a chance if they update the graphics and really put something into that. I'm really looking forward to see what that's all about. And trust me, when it happens, I will be out with a video to discuss it, and we will take a look at it together. So there you go, boys and girls. There is the most recent update on Lord of the Rings: Heroes of Middle-earth and what's going on with it. Links to the Discord and to the developers' videos, the developer diary down below in the description of this video. Please make sure to throw a like and throw a subscribe on there. I appreciate all of you. You are wonderful, wonderful people. Well, most of you, I guess. I don't really know. I'm just taking a shot in the dark there. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you soon on a live stream. And as always, remember, Nooch too good.